So how many mystery shops should you do? The answer is an unfortunate one, and the answer is one that everyone hates, and it's a two-word answer. The answer is it depends. So what does it depend on? It depends on what you're looking to achieve. For example, if you've got, say, 200 bank branches and you want to get an idea of the systems and how they're operating, then you might do a sample of stores. So for example, you say, the client says to me, I want to get an idea of what's going on out in the world. I want to understand the funnel and how people go through and progress through the funnel. In that case, you can do a sample, and usually about between 20 and 30 mystery shops, you're going to get a pretty good idea of what's going on. Then there's the other side, which is you say, well, no, we don't want to just know that. We want to know who's who in the zoo. We want to know rankings. As soon as you start talking about rankings, you have to increase your coverage and you have to do it substantially. So not only if you want to say, for example, rankings, not only would you want to evaluate every single store or every branch, but you're going to want to do them more than once, because you don't want to get a branch or a store being stuck with one rogue bad result. For example, it's a fast food chain and a bus broke down and everyone was filtering in there to get food because they were hungry, and at that moment the mystery shopper came in. Like something like that happened out of the ordinary. Or just a whole lot of people were away sick and the service wasn't as good as it usually is. So you want to get lots of measurements to discount those outliers. And sometimes we'll just say, let's take out the bottom two and let's take out the top two results and see who's the average in the middle. So if you want to do rankings, you need multiples and you need all of the sites. However, if you want systemic understanding and you've got less budget, then you can go with the sample. But you have to be careful with the samples, because you can't say, oh, that store over there, they had a really, really bad result. I'm going to ring them up and what the hell's going on? You can't do that because it's a one-off. So you do have to sacrifice something for the lower budget spend. So why else would you do the rankings? You do the rankings also for bonuses. Sometimes, and some of our clients say, well, the top 10% get an extra bonus at the end of the year, as opposed to the bottom 10%. Or it may be that the bottom 10%, if it's a franchise type environment, the bottom 10% are getting managed out, whatever that means. So the rankings can be for many, many reasons. Sometimes it's state rankings, it's regional rankings. But as soon as you go down that route, then you have to go for all of the stores and multiple times. Now, there's one exception. If you're simply looking to evaluate the rankings of states or regions, then you can do a representative sample of each state. But you still can't go down and say, well, that store was a bad result because that store might have been mystery shopped, whereas another one wasn't, because they just weren't in the sample. But at a state level, you'd be able to say, well, okay, we want to know which state is the best state or which state has the problem. You can still work on samples. But at that level, you can't go the next level down, which is to do a drill down or a ranking of every store. So as soon as you have to go to the level that you're measuring. I know that makes absolute sense when you say it like that, but some companies get caught up in it, because the mistake they'll make is they'll say, well, oh, let's just do everyone once or twice. And that's just not enough. I hope that helps. I'm Stephen DiPietro. That's why I do mystery shopping.